Hello and welcome to the living room. We typically don't film here, but we are in a very precarious lighting situation. The sun is going down. I never film this late, but I just couldn't. Okay, I just couldn't. Look at this. Oops. If there's one thing that we have learned about Sarah today, that's me, I'm Sarah, it is that she cannot be trusted. She cannot be trusted to be alone. Okay, here's what happened. Just a brief story time. So we are off from school. It is spring break. We were supposed to go to the Outer Banks with my husband. He was traveling there for work for part of the week. So my three kids and myself, we were supposed to go and meet him down there and have like this little kind of getaway. Unfortunately, the weather is absolutely terrible in the Outer Banks right now. It's cold, it's rainy, there's no sun to be had, it's freezing, and I keep seeing like all of these weird videos about humpback whales like washing up dead on shore. So taking those things into consideration, we actually decided not to go. My husband still went for work, but the kids and I stayed home. Well, then my mom called and was like, hey, I really want to have a sleepover with the kids. Can the kids come over? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Not even thinking, like, because typically we always say yes, right? And then my husband and I will go and like have like a little date night to ourselves. But no one's here. Like, hence the other reason that I am in the living room and not worried about one of the children screaming. My kids are 10, almost 11, which my daughter swears that 11 is a preteen, but I'm pretty sure that 12 is a preteen. So we have our oldest is 10, our middle is our boy, he is 7, and then our youngest is actually going to be 3 by the time you guys see this. Her birthday is next week. So we are very busy. Everyone has sports, everyone has the things. So I didn't honestly know what to do with myself. I am a homebody. Like I'm not, obviously I have a YouTube channel based on reading books, right? I'm not the most social person in the circle. So I called my best friend. We went and got pedicures, but after the pedicures, it was like 3 o'clock. So I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do the rest of the day? So I found myself wandering to Books a Million. And as you can imagine, things took a turn. So the last time I went to Books a Million was actually when it was called Borders. I don't know if Books a Million bought Borders or if they stayed separate and Borders just closed, but our bookstore in my town was a Borders and then Books a Million opened. Now, I typically don't go there because I feel like, at least in my opinion, I read books too fast to warrant paying full price for them. So I went in knowing like, okay, I'm just going to buy 1, maybe 2 books because again, in my opinion, it's just not worth the paying full price. So I went, I walked around the fiction section. I was having a great old time. And then out of the corner of my eye, I saw bargain books. It was a humongous section. It was bigger than the entire romance section of the store. I'm telling you what, I was shocked to see some of these titles at the bargain book section. Now, I wasn't going to get very many, but they're all hardbacks, which is shocking to me. This may not be shocking to you, but it was shocking to me. So I thought, let's go through. I'll show you the bargain books that I got, and we'll just go from there. This is the only full price book that I got, and I only paid full price for it because I've had my eye on it for a while, but haven't been able to find it cheaper anywhere else. It is called The Club, and it's by Ellery Lloyd. I've never read this author before. Oh, it's a husband. Oh, interesting. Okay, I had no idea. So Ellery Lloyd is a pseudonym for a London-based husband and wife writing team. Interesting. I've never read something written by a writing team before, at least that I know of. But anyway, so this one I've been wanting to read for a while. If it's a Reese's book club, I'm 100% willing to give it a try. I've never read a bad book that was in the club before, or in Reese's book club before. And just based on the description of the book, it is reminding me and like giving me the Society of Lies vibe. And I'm desperately looking for something to kind of remind me of that book because I loved it so much. And I'm hoping that this one will be it. And again, next up, we have The Unwedding by Ali Kandi. And I wasn't sure about this, but again, it has Reese's Book Club on it, so I am going to give it a try. Anyway, The Unwedding looks really great. It says something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, someone lost, someone wed, someone broken, someone dead. So sign me up for this unwedding. I'm going. Now, this one here is called The Block Party by Jamie Day. This is something that I never would have picked up, but if you saw my recent video on 2025 thrillers that are upcoming releases, I talked about Jamie Day's other book that is like soon to be released. And I noted in that video that I had never read anything by this author before, so I wanted to go back and read other books that were published. So when I saw this, I was like, yes, perfect. I need this book because it does sound really good. As this summer, meet your neighbors. The residents of the exclusive cul-de-sac on Alton Road appear to be living idyllic lives. But we all know that that's not how the story ends, and that's not what makes a thriller. So this one I'm pretty pumped to read. Then we had, this is the very last book and the very last row, and I almost missed it because it was turning into like the sci-fi section, and that was The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. I've never actually read anything. I do have a few of her books, but I just haven't gotten to them yet. I'm probably the only person left on planet Earth that has not read this book, but that's okay. I'm very excited to read it. It gives, like, the cover is super creepy. Let me just say that. Forgive me for thinking this, but I kind of like when I was reading about it online, because I've had my eye on it, when I was reading about it online, I kind of got the impression that like someone was going to be served at the dinner, if that makes sense. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. But I don't know because I'm not very familiar with the author. So I mean, I hope it'll be okay. Set at a luxe coastal retreat where the beautiful setting hides the rot within. And let me just tell you, I just know that that's going to be a smash. I'm very excited about it. This one I recognized off of Bookstagram, and this is Those Empty Eyes by Charlie Donlia. I think I said that right. But I, at first, like, I was like, dang, this cover looks super familiar. And then when I was reading it on the inside, I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so this girl comes back to the community that she grew up in after 10 years, and like when her family was unfortunately murdered. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of twists in here. It's set in 2023. There's lots of small print. Lots of small print. So I believe this one is going to take me a while. I do feel like this one is going to be quite a bit heavier than my typical thriller read. I absolutely love all thrillers, but I tend to stray away from like the super like depraved ones, I guess would be the good way to put it. Like I like the thrillers and stuff like that, but I don't like gory ones, if that makes sense. I feel like this one's going to be borderline. We'll have to see. I'll let you know when I read it. Then, quite randomly, right in the middle is The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. And the only reason I picked this up is because I had so many thrillers that I thought it might be nice to have like a romantic or like a romantic comedy type of book in the middle. And I don't know, this one just really caught my eye. It was $8. I had actually looked at the paperback version when I was looking at the romance section, and I picked it up, but I put it down because I didn't want to pay full price for it. But then when I saw the hardcover and it has like the painted pages and everything, super cute. I'm very excited. I don't know when I'm going to read this, but I'll find some time. Then we have Lisa Jewell, The Night She Disappeared. Lisa Jewell, I have read a couple of her books before. I don't think that she is my favorite author, but I do think that she has a really great way of storytelling. And I have enjoyed the books by her that I have read. This one sounds super interesting because it's about a young couple that just had a baby that like goes out for the first time since having the baby, but then they don't come home. And it has like those kinds of tones to it. So the big question in the sleeve is, why would two parents so devoted to their family abandon their child? Yes, which is honestly a great question. And I can't wait to figure out the answer to the question, because obviously if we're here, it's because we're unhinged. Okay, it's because we're unhinged. And this story is not all that it seems. This book here, I was so happy when I saw it sitting on the shelf. This is Stacy Willingham's Only If You're Lucky. I have read both of Stacy Willingham's other books. A Flicker in the Dark was better than All the Dangerous Things, in my opinion, and I have already pre-ordered her next book coming up that I talked about in the potential blockbusters video. But I'm very excited because I do enjoy her writing. So I was really excited when I saw this. It says a sharp and twisty exploration on female friendship from the New York Times bestseller. So that'll be cool. I always do love to read a book about friendship. This looks like the font is humongo. I feel like maybe I bought a large print version or a large print copy of the book. Maybe not. That's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to read it, obviously. But yeah, I kind of feel like maybe I bought a large. Yeah, that's okay. No worries. I think I bought the large print version, but that's okay. It was $8. Okay, so I was getting it. Now, the last two we have are both Megan Miranda. We have Such a Quiet Place and The Girl from Widow Hills. I'm very excited to read these. More so, I'm excited to read this one than this, but I am, again, going through and trying to read all of her books so I can make like dedicated videos about them. This one says, we had no warning that she'd come back. Hollow's Edge used to be a quiet place, a private and idyllic neighborhood where neighbors dropped in on neighbors, celebrated graduations and holidays together. Okay, and then there were two schmurders. Then, okay, so that happens. There were two schmurders, and then it kind of seems like they're trying to figure out exactly who did it and how and all of those things. So I'm very excited for this one. The cover of this one is really speaking to me. If you need to know one thing about me, it is that I heavily judge books by the cover, and I think that this one is going to be a great one. And then the other one that we have is The Girl from Widow Hills, which I actually had never heard of before. It says the girl was just 6 years old when she was swept away while sleepwalking during a terrifying rainstorm. Strangers and friends, neighbors and rescue workers set up search parties and held vigils, praying for her safe return. Against all odds, she was found alive. Okay, clinging to a storm drain. But we have to know something obviously is going to go awry. So truly what did actually happen? That just sounds very interesting. I have not heard of this one before. And the cover is bubbly. Like the texture is bubbly. I don't know if you can tell, but the texture is really bubbly. So I'm super excited for that. Okay, so if I had to tell you the one that I think I would like the most and the one that I think I'm not going to like, here's what I'm thinking. I think the book that I am going to like the most is, out of all of these, is Such a Quiet Place by Megan Miranda. And I think the one I'm going to like the least is Those Empty Eyes, like we talked about. Probably not because of the actual writing of the book, but I think that this one's going to be a little bit gorier than I prefer.